Now also, one of the brothers actually asked me that why do I always criticize the Pakistanis? That was the second question. So I want to actually take this question, the opportunity to speak about this as well. Now subhanallah, when you look at the Quran, in high frequency, Allah mentions Bani Israel. And there's a reason why Allah mentions Bani Israel. So we do not follow their mistakes. There's a story after story, story after story. Now if you take that principle, when a qawm has some negatives, then you emphasize those negatives. So our children do not follow those negatives. I'm not saying other nations are, pure, but I can be overcritical about my own culture because I know how they are. Subhanallah, if you look at any imam, every imam who came, they said there is no khuruj against the hukuma. This is the opinion of kibar ulama. Shaykh Ibn Baz rahimahullah ta'ala, Shaykh Muhammad Salih al-Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala, Shaykh Abdullah ibn Jibreen rahimahullah ta'ala. All these are kibar ulama of our time. They said there's no khuruj. So basically what that means is today we see this going on the street, making it difficult, chanting, all these things that we see today and the opinions that we see today. They said there's nothing, you don't find that, you don't bring any benefit out of this. When you look at our people, we've taken the ways of these non-Muslims and we go on the streets and we do all these things, and what happens? SubhanAllah, everyone, we want to take everything from every other person, but we don't want to follow our own religion. And there are many examples that I can actually give, but I wanted to give something very current, which is happening in our country. What have we achieved? You looked at the Arab world. They all came, mashallah, the Arab Spring. We spoke about Syria. We spoke about Egypt. We spoke about all these countries. Right now in Sudan, what do you achieve? You go against the government, they come out with full force. And I gave you an example the other day as well. We're not saying that Imam Hussein was wrong. We're not saying that. Never will I say that. I'm not saying Abdullah ibn Zubayr was wrong. But when they stood up against the government, what happened? Hajjaj ibn Yusuf came all out. And subhanallah, if you know your tariq, you know your history, Hajjaj ibn Yusuf crucified Abdullah ibn Zubayr. He chopped his head off and his body and he put it on the gate of Mecca. He put it on the gate of Mecca for the people to see. Now you know who Abdullah ibn Zubayr was? He was better than the entire world today. Do you know who Abdullah ibn Zubayr was? He's the son of Zubayr al-Awwam, one from Asharatu Mubashsharun. He is the son of Asma' binti Bakr, the daughter of Abu Bakr. And he was born the first male child in Medina, first male child. And he was better than most of the people at that time. And he was in Mecca. But when Hajjaj ibn Yusuf came, he didn't look at any of those things. As the government, they came, they were in power, they came with full force, and they killed all these Sahabas in the process. So there's no benefit in all these things that you're seeing with your own thing, with your own eyes. So inshallah, we ask Allah, now maybe brothers would know why I criticize the Pakistanis a lot. SubhanAllah, I've been grown up in this culture, I know the culture. SubhanAllah, I'm not joking. We grew up celebrating Rajab and the sweets that you would make on Rajab. This is in our own household. My own mother doing that, celebrating the birthday of Jafar as-Sadiq. That's in our own household. Something that we would not even know. We didn't even know that. When the month of Rajab came, the first Friday came, they used to fast on that day. Nothing in the Sharia is from there. SubhanAllah, they used to also make a big mawlid on the 12th of Rabiul Awwal. If you know your history well, this is the more closer date for the death of Rasulullah than he was born on this day. The ulama say the more closer date for his birth is the 9 or even before that. 12 was not the day that he was born. So what are you celebrating? The Pakistanis, I address you again. Are you celebrating the death of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So the point is simple over here, because our country has some problems, and being a Pakistani, I can criticize them. You know how the boys say today, if you know the children today, they play in the yard and there is an African kid and they call him the N-word. And then when you catch them, oh, he gave me the N license. N license. I'm like, what's this N license? Because he's a black person, so he said you can call me N. So guess what? Because I'm a Pakistani, I've got the P license. I didn't get the P license, but I have the P license. So if anyone has a problem, then he can come and talk to me. Because this was the license, because my father's a Pakistani and my mother's a Pakistani. So I've got a license from my parents. But I don't have an E license, which is the Egyptian license. And I don't have the B license, which is the Bangladeshi license. And I don't have the L license, which is the Lebanese license. So I can't go and criticize these people, but I can definitely criticize my people, which I can see the evil, and I can talk about that evil. So inshallah, hopefully now the Pakistanis know where I'm coming from, inshallah. So, but I don't, the point is not there to put our country down. The point is really, the intention is our children do not follow what our parents were doing. Don't make the religion of your parents. Make the religion of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is what we want to actually